Tua Tagovailoa is back. After sitting out with a concussion for 4 long weeks, the Miami Dolphins are welcoming their starting quarterback once again. It's been a tough stretch without him, no doubt about it. The Dolphins' offense, once one of the most dangerous in the league, has stumbled without Tua at the helm. That 2-4 record doesn't exactly scream playoff contenders either, but now with Tua returning, things could take a much-needed turn. When Tua went down, Miami's offense took a nosedive. Just a year ago, this was a team that dropped 70 points in a single game, finishing second in offensive DVOA. Now, they're the worst offense in the league. That's not even an exaggeration. According to the numbers, they're dead last, putting up fewer points per drive than any other team since Week 3. They're the only team scoring less than a point per drive. It's not just bad, it's shockingly bad. Even the Cleveland Browns, who aren't exactly lighting the scoreboard on fire, are managing more than Miami has. But here's the strange part, it's not all about turnovers or punts. Miami isn't turning the ball over at a ridiculous rate or punting every other possession. In fact, the Dolphins are 10th best in the league at avoiding turnovers during these past few weeks. They've even punted less than the Buffalo Bills. But for some reason, when they get to the red zone, it's all falling apart. Just 16.7% of their drives have made it to the red zone without Tua, and even when they get there, less than 40% of those trips end in a touchdown. Let's not forget, even with Tua under center during the first 2 weeks, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars and Buffalo Bills had figured out ways to slow down Miami's speed. Jacksonville's aggressive man coverage and Buffalo's defensive scheme with extra defensive backs were giving Miami trouble right from the start. But the real collapse happened when Tua was sidelined. Timing has been completely off with Tua out. This offense relies on precision, and it's clear that the quarterbacks filling in haven't been able to replicate the fast, quick-release style that Tua brings. Some people thought any quarterback could step in and keep the passing game flowing because of how the system was built. But no. It's been painfully obvious that Tua's unique skills are essential to the Dolphins' success. His quick release protected the offensive line, allowing Miami to get by with a less-than-stellar group up front. Now, without that quick trigger, the line has been exposed. What's even more frustrating is that the offensive line has actually held up decently in pass protection, at least in the first couple of seconds after the snap. They rank 12th in ESPN's pass block win rate, which measures how well they're blocking in the first 2.5 seconds. But the backup quarterbacks haven't been able to get the ball out quickly enough, meaning the line's solid protection goes to waste, and the QB faces pressure anyway. That's forced the Dolphins to keep more players in for pass protection, limiting the number of receiving options. In Tua's first 2 games this season, the Dolphins sent 5 players out on routes almost 83% of the time. With backup Tyler Huntley under center, that number dropped to 56%. The whole rhythm of the offense has been thrown off because of this, and the receivers just aren't getting open the same way. The run game hasn't been much better. Last year, Miami's outside run game was as effective as some of the top passing offenses in the league. But this season, the Dolphins haven't been able to lean on it the same way. Devon Achane, their breakout star, has struggled to replicate last year's success. Defenses have adjusted, and Achane's attempts to run inside the tackles, something he didn't do much of last year, haven't worked out. His expected yards per carry have dropped, and he's not gaining the same ground on inside runs. The rookie, Jalen Wright, has shown some promise with a handful of successful inside runs, but it's not enough to carry the run game. If the Dolphins want to get back to their winning ways, they need more consistency on the ground to complement Tua's return. Tua's return isn't just about stats or schemes, it's about timing, confidence, and taking advantage of those split-second windows that other quarterbacks missed. Tua's been practicing well, and Tyreek Hill couldn't be more excited to have him back. With the Cardinals on deck in Week 8, it's the perfect opportunity to turn things around, though the Bills are waiting right after that. If Miami wants to get back into the playoff race, the offense needs to find its groove fast. With Tua back, there's hope, but they can't afford any more missteps.